The Bishop of Durham, Justin Welby, the former oil company executive, was named on Friday as the new Archbishop of Canterbury, the spiritual head of the world's estimated 77 million Anglicans, saying he would support the elevation of women as priests to the senior clergy and warning against homophobia. The two issues have been at the center of profound divisions within the Anglican communion, threatening to tear it asunder. But, with his first signals, Bishop Welby seems to chart the middle course, saying he would vote in favor of the ordination of women as bishops at a crucial church ballot in 10 days, but endorsing earlier church statements criticizing government plans to legalize same-sex marriage. Drawing on a career that has taken him from the executive suites of French and British oil companies, to hardscrabble parish churches in the British Midlands and to the scenes of sectarian strife in Africa and the Middle East, Bishop Welby said he had a passion for reconciliation. And, on one of the most contentious matters that divides Anglicans from Africa to America, he promised to listen very attentively to those who disagreed with his views on sexual issues. "We must have no truck with any form of homophobia in any part of the church," he told reporters. "I am always averse to the language of exclusion," he said, suggesting some readiness to listen to the arguments of those who disagree with him, saying he would listen very attentively and examine my own thinking carefully and prayerfully. Bishop Welby will replace the most Rev. Rowden Williams, who announced in March that he would step down at the end of the year. The appointment was announced by the office of Prime Minister David Cameron. At a news conference shortly afterward, Bishop Welby said, "It's exciting, because I believe that we are at one of those rare points, where the tide of events is turning, and the Church nationally, including the Church of England, has great opportunities to match its very great, but often hidden, strengths. I feel a massive sense of privilege at being one of those responsible for the leadership of the Church, in a time of spiritual hunger, when our network of parishes and churches and schools and above all people means that we are facing the toughest issues in the toughest places," he said. Bishop Welby emerged as the favorite to become the 105th Archbishop of Canterbury only after tortuous negotiations within the Church of England that led to frequent reports of deadlock and disagreement among members of the Church Commission that chose him. His appointment was likely to be closely watched in the Vatican, where the Roman Catholic hierarchy is sought to lure away Anglican priests who have become disaffected with what they see as a liberalizing trend in the Church of England. Like Prime Minister Cameron and other members of the British elite, including the royal family, Bishop Welby was educated at Eton College. He went on to study law and history at Cambridge University before working for 11 years in the Treasury departments of the French Aquitaine Oil Company and later of a British exploration company, Enterprise Oil. His rise through the church ranks has been widely described as meteoric. He began his training as a priest in 1987 and was made a deacon in 1992. He was made Bishop of Durham, the fourth-ranking diocese in the hierarchy, only a year ago. Bishop Welby has a reputation as self-deprecating. On Friday, he called his appointment something I never expected. When he heard from Mr. Cameron's office that he was to be offered the position, my initial reaction was, "Oh, no," he said. He added, "I'm utterly optimistic about the future of the church." Before becoming Bishop of Durham, he worked in the British Midlands as a parish priest and at the Anglican Cathedral in Liverpool in the northwest. He also led church organizations devoted to mediation and reconciliation in conflict zones, traveling to northern Nigeria, Kenya, Burundi and the Middle East. His visits to Africa also gave him first-hand contact with African Anglicans who are generally held to be far more conservative on gender and gay issues than some of their Western counterparts, particularly in the United States where Episcopalians are deeply divided. Archbishop Williams spent much of his tenure trying to avoid an open schism, but he acknowledged publicly in March that there are some conflicts that won't go away, however long you struggle with them. Not everybody in the Anglican Communion or even in the Church of England is eager to avoid schism or separation, he said. His experience in business and conflict resolution represents a marked departure from his predecessor's background as a theologian and poet. Earlier this year, as a member of the Upper House of Lords, to which Anglican bishops are routinely appointed, Bishop Welby joined the parliamentary panel scrutinizing the behavior of British banks. He is known as an opponent of corporate excess and has been critical of banks. Speaking at a conference in Zurich, according to a financial website, he described banks as exponents of anarchy before the financial crisis in 2008 because they pursued activity without purpose, The Financial Times reported on Friday that, as Archbishop of Canterbury, he would remain on the parliamentary panel examining banking ethics. The announcement on Friday was the first of several steps leading to Bishop Welby's consecration as Archbishop, including formal approval by Queen Elizabeth II, the titular head of the Church of England, endorsement by the College of Canons at Canterbury Cathedral, and his enthronement there next year. Archbishop Williams has said he plans to become Master of Magdalene College at Cambridge University in January.